This is Rio Cragun, and you're tuned into AU Dollars,
I've
man.
been working till the night's gone. I made 7 digits left for horizon. Lot of people that are counting on me.
Yo, what up, Cash fam? My name is Matthew Craig, and you are tuned in to AU Dollars, Australia's Hip Hop Connect. Make sure you like this video, jump in the comments with your thought on the chat, and always be sure to share and subscribe to our channel. Because as always, we're bringing you the most exciting guests from around the world, and we got another stellar international artist joining me today for a chat. I've been bumping this guy since like 2017. He's got these melodic, introspective, real vibey raps that I've been digging, and I know all you out in the AU are doing as well. He's tackled everything from R&B to hip hop to EDM to alternative and conquered everything that he's jumped on. I'm talking over 200 million online streams. This guy supported none other than Billie Eilish on tour around the world. And you may know him out here in Australia from a little collaborative EP he did with a guy called Flume. You may know that record, Friends, from a few minutes ago. He's just dropped his new LP, Diary of a Loner, all the way from Vancouver, Washington, the one and only Rio Craig. And welcome to AU Dollars, brother. How are we doing today?
Let's go, man. I'm excited. That was an amazing intro.
You're welcome, bro. That's all shit that you've achieved in the last few years, man. Like it's been cool watching your journey since 2017, bro.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, and it has been a journey. Yeah, I'm just blessed, you know?
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. But let me dive into that, bro. I've listened to the new album. I've gone through it. And my first thought from someone who's listened to your music since 2017, this record feels darker. It feels grittier. It feels a bit more vulnerable. And the first thought I had when I knew we were going to be talking, bro, I just want to check in. It was like, how you doing, bro? Are you okay? You've been through, you've been through some shit by the sounds of it, bro.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, man, I'm definitely great. Yeah, I'm really great. It's just, it's interesting too, because I, after the pandemic, I realized like my life is not like an Instagram post. and sometimes like in the music, I choose to share snippets of my life that do seem like an Instagram post, all peachy keen and whatnot. So I chose to, really open up and just like talk about some of the hardships that I've been through in the last couple of years. It felt right. And it was actually really freeing. Music has always been like the greatest form of therapy for me. And this was just kind of like me getting some of those, sometimes not so nice conversations that I have with myself and actually, dialoguing and making a diary out of it.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, I like you talk about music as a bit of a therapy there. I definitely felt that on the new record. I feel the earlier work felt really aspirational, and this felt really real. It felt like this is an open book. This is what's going on in my life. What was the approach to writing and getting in that headspace, like, bro?
Yeah. As an artist, there's a whole bunch of things that I have to deal with, like in my personal life, that's sometimes it's just like not so easy to share. A lot of times, like we focus on kind of like the accolades and the trials and tribulations that got us to this point and whatnot. And I just wanted to really touch on the things that I was just dealing with personally, and not so much of like where I've been or like things I've been able to accomplish, but just like kind of my feelings and my thought process. So like, I thought that it was really important to like really like dive into the narrative of kind of like, those conversations that I'm having internally, just like really display those publicly. For sure.
You definitely touched on the record of some of the struggles or challenges that you've had as an artist, label deals, making money, all that sort of stuff. Can you talk us through some of those challenges and I guess the lessons you've learned along the journey?
Yeah, of course. So back in like 2017, I signed this record deal with 10K Projects, and they have like, Trippie Redd and 6ix9ine. And from there, I ended up upstreaming to Virgin Records and Capitol. And I had like achieved everything that I thought that I wanted to achieve. Like, this is like one of my biggest aspirations. I'm like, I can't wait to be like a major artist at these major labels and whatnot. And then what I ended up finding out is just it was not almost everything that I thought it was going to be, which is kind of like how things happen, in life. and it didn't feel like it was the right fit for me. I was able to have a little bit more creative control, and not saying that, by the way, the label was amazing and awesome to work with and whatnot, but my type of like creativity, like I need, boundless boundaries for me is like, yeah, for sure. So I realized like, I want to resume my independent career. And from there, I was able to get out of the deal amicably. It was everyone's on good terms, and from there, that's when my career as an artist actually started to flourish, because I think I was just like a healthier mind state. And that's when I met Harley, and we just made so much music together. And that was actually my first independent release, was with Flume. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, talk us through that relationship, man, because obviously out in Australia, Flume's a bit of a god out here. Everyone loves him and what he's contributed to the scene over the last decade. But yeah, it seems like you guys got a really close bond and friendship, and that comes out in the music. Can you talk us through what your relationship with Harley and what that working with him has been like?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, Harley is, like there's certain people that you meet in music that, you just realize, oh, shoot, this is going to be my friend for a lifetime. You know what I mean? And Harley was just one of those people, just like a really genuine person. And we just like connected like really easily and just organically. And yeah, so just making music with him is just super easy. And he's just like an extreme creative, just like me as well. And just family. That whole team over there is just like family, man. It's pretty cool, and it's not often that you're able to experience those relationships in music. But when you do, you gotta keep them around, because this is what we do it for the love of, you know what I mean?
For real. What's the process like when you guys are in the booth together? Because I tell you, every Australian vocalist, rapper, whatever, is dying to get on a Flume beat. What's the process like when you're cooking together?
Yeah, I guess it's different a lot of times. So sometimes it's remote work, and then when we're in this studio, like sometimes we make, like I think on the first session that we had, we made like 4 songs together. And 2 of those ended up being on the Quits EP, or actually maybe all 3 did. Actually, now that I think about it, but yeah,
That's
for
dope.
sure.
And what about sonically, man? As I said, I felt like the earlier stuff you were doing was a bit more melodic. Maybe it was because it was label sort of stuff. It was in a very, very certain lane. But here, the new record sounds a bit more experimental to me. I see you wearing the Iron Maiden shirt. I hear rock. I hear alternative influences on this record. What were the influences and inspirations sonically when you were creating this one?
Yeah, so I do touch on like a lot of music, and when I originally started, it was more hip hop R&B leaning. And then I started branching out and just doing more creative stuff. I listened to a lot of like bands and whatnot, so I think that's kind of like where this derived from. But taking my putting my touch on things. So like, for example, like Local Natives is like one of my favorite bands. Also, definitely love Tame.
Yeah, shout out.
And I was trying to figure out like the way that they arrange music is like very special, and I was trying to have my take on that. So it's sometimes it's like luscious chords with like hard trap beats, and then trying to incorporate some type of electronic element into that as well, and that's really the approach that we kind of took with this album.
And although you're very narrative heavy and it's very, very storytelling, there's always Rio Craig, and you're coming back to the melodies and you're coming back to that catchy hook. Like I've had On My Way stuck in my head for 5 years straight, bro. Like is that something that you cook in the booth, or you're getting like melodies in your head during the days you're going out at your business? What's that usually look like for you?
Yeah, it's actually usually really quick. I know I got a hook, like a damn hook, like when I make it in like 5 minutes. And usually the melody comes super quick. Sometimes the words take a bit longer, like 10, 15 minutes. But for a lot of this stuff, it was just like really streamlined. So the hooks that come the easiest are always like the ones that are going to be the catchiest for me.
I feel that. You're on something when you got an earworm like that.
For sure. And when you want to just like replay it, like, oh, okay, cool. And yeah, definitely.
Yeah, That's cool. You've been in this game for a minute though, haven't you? Like songwriting and working behind the scenes and all that. What's the transition process been like and the growth process? And like, has it worked out anywhere like what you thought it would be 5, 10 years ago?
Yeah, no, definitely not. No, I mean, this is like a lot of times, like, we think that we have this huge roadmap planned out for, like what's gonna get our successes in life and whatnot. And music is just it's so fun because a lot of the stuff is play it by ear. Sometimes opportunities come along and you're like, yo, that would actually be really cool, And so, where I thought that I was going to be is definitely not. Things have turned out like way cooler in my opinion and whatnot. Yeah, way more artistic for
That's
sure.
cool.
Yeah,
That's cool.
definitely. Yeah, man. But yeah, so like a lot of the stuff has been just my career has been experimental in general. Yeah. Yeah, but it's been great. I love it, man. It's like, I I started by moving out to Los Angeles. I wasn't even making music at the time. I was on a full ride scholarship for academics.
Yeah. Wow.
And I kind of just, gave all that up without even have written like a full song before, but just knew in my gut that I wanted to make music. And so like everything started out as an experiment for me. And I was just like, like I wasn't getting the fulfillment that I really needed out of school. And after like thinking about it pretty long and hard, I was like, dang, like, do I even want to do this career that, I'm setting myself up for? I knew that the journey of an artist is not always a pretty one. But I was completely okay with that because I knew that I was young and I was hungry and I wanted to make good music, because I love music.
Yeah. Has there been any moments that you reflect back on, you had sort of had to pinch yourself? You're like, holy shit, I'm living this?
Oh, for sure. For sure. Just like when my first album came out and it was no longer just an idea, it was actually real and people could listen to it. It was a real thing. It existed in the world. That was one of those moments when I had to pinch myself. Touring the world with Harley, that was insane. There was a point where we played a show in Mexico with the most people that I've ever seen in one place in my life. Wow. I was like, yo, the crowd does not end. That was definitely a moment where I had to pinch myself, had to get off stage, shed a few tears real quick.
Yeah, for real. You got it at times, hey?
Yeah, for sure. It was, and it's, and just being at, like live shows in general and like hearing people sing back, some of the lyrics that I wrote in my bedroom, you know what I mean? And to watch it transcend and to, just like have that connection with people, that always blows my mind, hearing a crowd sing back like lyrics that, were in idea form, just like a couple of years back.
Yeah. Pretty surreal, I imagine. Hey,
for sure. Extremely.
And what's next then? You talk a bit about live there. Is that in the plans to get back on the road, or what's the next chapter look like off the back of this LP?
Yeah. So I'm in super creative mode, man. The pandemic really shook things up for me. And I've been on the road since like 2017 nonstop. Yeah. So like really getting back in tune with myself, and just being able to be back in, the studio. I just like really, really fell deep back in love with like the creative process again. And yeah, man, what's next is I've just been, continuing to cook up and just like make more stuff. What they say, it's just like, the best song is the song that you haven't even created yet. So, I'm always cooking up.
And what about Australia? Any plans to get out here? As you know, you're well loved by the crowd out here. And
I love Oz. Oz is like, I love it in Australia. I definitely need to get back out there. It's been a couple years for me now. Things have been tough with like COVID restrictions and just like traveling in general. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna come. And if it's not for shows, then I'm definitely going for leisure.
Got any favorite spots or memories from when you've been out here?
Oh man, Melbourne is great. Because let's go. And it's like, like I grew up in Washington State, and so it's very reminiscent of like Seattle for me. You have big buildings and nice people. Just like that's my comfort zone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then yeah, for sure. Obviously, Sydney's amazing as well. And dude, I fell in love with Perth.
Yeah,
You know, it's like obviously an isolated place, but again, just like people are so genuine and very like nice in Australia, which is like super fun. Yeah, it's just always fun, man. It's a good time.
Well, for sure, when you come out next, we're going to kick it, bro, and we're going to have a lot of fun for sure.
Yeah.
We look forward to that. It's always love out here. As we said a bit about what's next, and that's the short term. What's the big picture look like for Rio Craig? And when at the end of this journey, and you might not know, but when do you go, I'm happy with this, or like I've achieved what I've set out to achieve? What does that look like in the grand scale for you, bro?
Right. Yeah, for sure. Man, I never know. I want to obviously take it as far as I can take things. And, I'm always thinking about scaling and just like beating my last records and just getting better with it and continuing to be a student with it. Yeah. The thing about music too is like you never stop learning. And I have the drive to learn and I have the drive to get better and just like continuing to experiment, make cool stuff. And yeah, so I don't know, man. It's gonna be tough for me to hang it up because it's like it's part of like my DNA. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean, maybe I'll quit when I'm like 50.
Still, we get new ideas though. I see you ain't gonna quit, bro.
No, I know, and even when you quit, like, bro, if that day ever comes for me, I'm gonna be an old man somewhere, just like still tinkering around with ideas, just a hard drive full of songs and whatnot.
Yeah, I feel that. Let's go, my guy Rio Craig. We're gonna slide in the money minute right now on $8. All right, let's go. Dream collaboration, any artist, dead or alive?
Oh, geez, yeah, local natives, Tame Impala, Kid Cudi.
Yeah. Who was your first celebrity crush?
Oh, geez, Jessica Biel.
Bad. What's the background wallpaper on your cell phone?
Loners, which is like my new Web3 label that I started. Yeah.
If you could hang out with a cartoon character for a day, who would it be?
Oh, geez. Blue from, what was that show called? Foster Some for Imaginary.
Favorite place to spend money?
Oh, geez, that's restaurants.
Least favorite subject in school?
History.
Mm-hmm. Favorite TV show?
Oh, geez. Ozark? Probably Ozark. Yeah.
If the tables are turned and you're in my seat, who are you interviewing? Anyone in the world?
Oh, geez. Interesting question. I don't know. Probably, I would just say underground artists in general. Yeah. It's like, underground artists.
Tight. And last question, pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
No.
No, not rocking with it?
Not for me. No. Hey, but I'm not hating anyone that is, though, for sure. Yeah. Whatever floats your boat. But
there we go. The money minute, Rio Craig and my guy got those quick answers there. Bro,
let's go.
It's been an absolute pleasure to talk to you today, bro. Congratulations on the journey. Congratulations on the new project. And we definitely look forward to linking up when you make the journey out to Australia again, my bro.
For sure, man. I'll be hitting you for sure.
Big love, my dude.